Okay, we're recording. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Irene. I'm a senior gold ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and we have on all of our leaders who went to leadership this weekend, and we're going to each share a little bit about our takeaways and what we got out of leadership. And so we are going to start with Natalie. Do you want to unmute yourself, Natalie?
Sure. Hi. So we had an amazing time at Leaders Retreat. I'm so blessed that Lacey invited me to go with her. Anyways, we learned so much, and it was a lot to take in, but it was definitely something that I hope everyone strives to be in next year, because it was a ton of fun and a ton of information, and it just helped to restore my belief in the company. They are all so amazing, and they want us all to succeed, and that's the amazing part of it, is they want the compensation plan is 100% to where we can succeed in it. Anyways, so we listened to a lot of the diamonds and all of that talk about their tips, and I some of the ones that I loved and planning on following is being consistent. You need to every day they need to see that you're consistent and your belief in the company and in the products. If they don't see that your consistency, your followers and your customers, then they're not gonna believe in it either. And then whenever people don't want to listen to you or don't support you, bless them and release them. That was one of the things that they said, and I like that. If they're not going to support you in it, be okay with it and just move on. And then it's okay to fail, but just keep trying if you fail. If something doesn't work, try something else and continue to keep going. Another thing is that I learned was, sorry, I'm looking at all my notes. Don't just manage, which I don't technically just manage, but I've been in a rut, but I don't need to use that as an excuse or a crutch. I need to move on, and always reaching out every day. I think that's very, very important, and I try to do that some, but I'm not as consistent with that as I should be. And set your goals high. I love that one too. Don't make small goals. Reach for the highest, because like I said, you can do anything with this company. You can move up, you can rank, you can do whatever you want as long as you're consistent and passionate and believe in the product. And I guess that's all.
Awesome. Thank you, Natalie. Who wants to go next?
I can.
Okay.
One of the things that stuck out to me, which I kind of did this to begin with, was I just jumped in head first and worked as hard as I could, but you kind of get in a rut, and the biggest thing I took away from that is it's okay to fail, but you have to get back up. So we all get in a slump, and it all happens to every one of us, but you just have to get up and keep going. They were saying that if you give this 90 days, it's going to show up 3 months from now. So what you do now every single day is what's going to show up in the months to come. So don't compare yourself. That's another big thing for me. You see people doing this thing fast, and you want to be this, going as fast as they are, but it just happens different for different people. So don't compare yourself and just try to improve you. So also follow the energy. So you need to follow your strengths, but at first you have to improve your weaknesses. So for me, it's training my team. I'm going to try to do better at that. So, that was one of the things that stood out to me. Always build belief in the products and what you're doing. We have amazing products and amazing companies that we work for. They showed us this weekend just how much they care about us. And I mean, I spent 6.5 years in the corporate world, and I wouldn't trade this for anything. It's a huge blessing, and we need to share that with other people. So, do your IPAs every day. Again, don't get discouraged, and never rule anyone out. So even people that you think would never have anything to do with this kind of thing, don't be afraid to step out and message them. So also be duplicatable and learn from successful people, but don't dwell on how fast that they're doing this. So that's it. That's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you, Lacey. I like that. Yeah, you said several things in there that clicked in my head too. It's like, yeah, as far as falling, and we all kind of hit a bottom, but get up and keep going and learn from it and go on. So awesome. Right. Erin or Jana, y'all want to go next?
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so I did video record the diamonds that in their tips. It was just awesome. So I'm gonna post those later this week. But for me, I think the one that hit me the hardest was when we went to the luncheon that where Jana and her diamonds paid for us to eat, and I thought that was so sweet, and I loved all the tips they gave us at the end. I really liked what Shannon McCombray said, and it's kind of what Lacey already said, you know, just don't compare yourself to others. Shannon said that when she first started out, she looked at all of the people around her, and for some reason they were all going a lot faster than her. And she said that she would just be angry inside, and it would just eat away at her. And that alone would cause her not to be productive. So one thing she realized is, hey, you know, she has all the tools they have, and she can do this too. She needs to quit making excuses and playing victim and get out there and reach for her goals, because we can all get wherever we want to. But she said it does take some hard work. And getting to each rank was not easy. Like, each rank was a huge feat for her. So, yeah, I really liked what she had to say. And that day, Cecily knows this, I was feeling stuck, and I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And, you know, after listening to them and what they had to say, it just really inspired me and helped me to realize that, you know, the main thing you have to focus on is yourself, and you've got to spend time every day building you know, signing people up and reaching out to people and cold calls and whatever you have to do to get, you know, more level ones and more customers. And that first and foremost needs to be where you spend your energy and your time. So that's what I got.
That's awesome, Jana. Good job. Erin, you want to go next?
Sure. I think my biggest takeaway was at the luncheon too, our last luncheon with the Jana and the other ladies, and it was actually something that Jana said, and she said and you know, some of the other diamonds had mentioned it too, but she really had talked about how we should stay connected and connect ambassadors on our team with other ambassadors, and even sidelines, just to have a running buddy, someone to do the business with, someone to hold you accountable. Because she said relationships really drive this business, and people will stay in this business for the relationships. Because once you build a relationship, and I feel like that, you know, with our team already, I mean, we have this amazing group of ladies, and I just love it. I love being a part of this group. I love talking to you guys all the time. I love having this group of ladies that I can talk to about anything, and not just about Plexus. You know, we talk about other things too, and it's just so nice to have, you know, this different family. And that would be one reason I wouldn't quit. And I think a lot of other people too, I think they would stay in it if they could see the love and the support that you get from this group of ladies, and I guess men too, if we have any men on our team that really get involved. But yeah, she said people stay for relationships, and it builds accountability. And to build off of that, I'm not sure who said it, but someone had talked about doing Zoom calls for team building, and we do that. We're doing it now. But having regular Zoom calls and opening and closing it with prayer, getting guest speakers. I know we're getting some of those set up. Cecily's on top of that. And even having non-plexus calls just to build relationships and just fostering that family feeling. And I think that's really, really important. It's something I really struggle with personally on my team. I have a hard time reaching out to people and, encouraging my team. And I'm not good at just reaching out to them and talking to them regularly and seeing how they're doing. And, I think that's something that Celeste did really well, and she does very well, is she's very loving. She's very genuine. She, really reaches out to people and listens to people. And I think it's really important to do those things and to praise the people on your team. There was something else talking about, even on like your team pages. The goal is to build a community in your team page too. And that again is just building on those relationships, giving regular shout outs on your team pages to those who go above and beyond. And that's something I want to work on as my team starts growing. And, sending new ambassadors a little love, sending them messages to help them get started, even giving them words to say or giving them a post to put out on Facebook when they get started, and give them lots of support and comment on, all of their posts when they do post things about Plexus, which I think we're all pretty good about that. But just the whole relationship thing is something I lack, that's something I'm like, I don't have time. I don't have time, but I need to make time for relationships. So I really think that's a big part of it, is just really building those relationships. So that was one of my biggest takeaways. Another thing that I really liked, and I'll hurry y'all because I know I talk a lot.
You're good, Erin.
Okay. Jennifer Pickett, when she was telling about the goals for sharing, when you share Plexus with people and you talk about the products, she said just to keep it simple and keeping it personal is important too, sharing little victories that you've had, and having just 2 or 3 key sentences about each product is really good. She said you don't have to know the science behind all the products. And that's something I feel like, I need to know that. I need to know why all these ingredients work and what they do for your body. And you don't really have to. I think people think, I can't do this business. I don't know about all these products. I don't know how to share it with people. But just having 2 or 3 key sentences to talk about on each product, and then 1 or 2 sentences just to describe what you love about each product. Or you can borrow someone else's love for a product if you haven't tried it yet and you know that somebody else loves it and it's helped them. You can share that. And listening to potentials, people that are interested, get to the heart of what their goals are, really figure out what it is that they want, and just listening is so important instead of just waiting to talk. We always just want to wait so that we can talk, but just listening and really hearing what people need is really a big part of it. So those were my biggest takeaways. It was also good. I loved it all. I've written so many notes, but yeah, those were things that really hit home with me.
And I want to add something to that. What Erin was saying about that you're the researcher of the group. I liked how she was saying with those relationships that you do build on your sidelines and uplines and those things. I'm not a researcher. I don't care what's in, as long as it works for me. And so I can message you and say, hey, what's in this? I have somebody that needs to know what's the best product. So that's another great thing about the relationships that we build. You can use them that way too.
Yeah, is you find people that are stronger in something than you are, and you can definitely reach out to them for sure. Right. That too.
Yes, that is awesome. In fact, I like that we are a team in that manner, and we can go to each other for different things. And Cecily's good about planning all our different incentives and what we're doing, and we just kind of each have our own strengths, and we work together with our different strengths. So it was pretty awesome. So, Erin, you were mentioning the 2 to 3 sentences about each product. It was one of the ladies at the Friday deal we went to.
Yes. Jennifer Pickett.
They gave the 2 or 3 sentences on each product, and I took a few screenshots of some of the last ones. Jana, did
I
you
do.
get some of the earlier ones maybe together? We can compile each of the different
Right.
ones and
Yeah.
share those on our groups eventually. I have the last one, like the ease and the
Yeah.
block and the.
Did you see Jennifer Pickett's post today in that Beyond Leaders Retreat event? She actually said she was going to upload those things.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, cool.
Okay,
Do that
Um,
event page.
Yeah, I have a picture of every single one of them. I'll go ahead and post them in our dream team. The only one I didn't get was the bio cleanse.
Okay. Okay. So on the Beyond Leadership, that's where they were, Erin? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll get those, yeah, and we can each post them in our group. So, yeah, I thought that was a really good deal because, yeah, Lacey, I'm not about researching either. It's like, I know they work. I know I love them.
Yeah.
I'm not the detailed person that wants to research and do all that. So.
And the way my memory works, even if I research them, I can't remember 5 minutes later what I read. So
Oh,
Me too.
Well, and
I'm the same.
it, you know, too. So, yeah, I agree. So, okay, very cool. Okay, I guess I'll go next.
Okay.
You know, and my biggest takeaway was just that this is so doable. You know, I don't know who it was, but somebody mentioned that, I mean, people got a leadership as silver, and then the very next year come back and they're emeralds or diamonds or whatever, you know, and I've kind of known this in my head, but I think it's sinking in more and more. It's just so doable, and it's in how we think in our head. I mean, we have to be determined. I heard the word determined, desperate, and a huge thing is belief in ourselves, and that's huge. We have to the things that we're telling ourselves in our head, believe that we are worthy of this, that we are capable of this, that we can do this. Belief in the products, belief in the opportunity, belief in the company. All those things have to be there. And when you have all those things, then you have passion. And, you know, at times you may not feel motivated. You may not feel like doing that, but action is huge. And I have to give some kudos to Aurora. I actually bought, and she will like seeing this, the DMO Success Guide. I think, do you have one, Aurora? Yes. Okay. Well, I just got this weekend, and I absolutely love it. And even if you had just this one page, this is daily method of operation. And it has a place on here for you to check your Facebook posts, your affirmations, your personal development, where you list out your 3 to 5 people that you are building new relationships with, 5 people that you're following up with, a daily phone call, 3 new contacts. I mean, everything you need to do in your power hour is on this one page. And I kind of started filling this out at work today, and I don't totally understand every part of it, but just writing stuff down like this started getting my mind thinking, oh yeah, I haven't heard from this person, and they said they were going to sign up, and you know, it just brings it all back in my memory. And if we have it written down, then we don't forget it to go back to it, you know. Because I've got people I haven't talked to since July, and they said they were interested, but okay, this is November 1st. Why have I not gotten back to them? You know, just because in the daily craziness, it's forgotten. But if you have a place to list it out, it's more likely to get done. And I actually thought, because at work, I'm supposed to be working, but I do get little breaks here and there, and I never know how much time I'm going to have or how much I can devote to Plexus. And so I end up just scrolling on Facebook. But if I have written down here what I need to do, then I can use my little nooks and crannies to message these people or go find these people on Facebook and start chatting with them or whatever, So I absolutely love this. This has really motivated me, having this and getting a plan. If you don't have a plan, you go nowhere. So I'm getting my plan together and I'm going. Yay!
That's
So,
awesome.
okay, I was preaching there. But let me see. Back to my stuff. I did write. Actually, I guess that was it. You guys all kind of mentioned don't compare yourself to others. It is watching everybody rank up last night is like, I'm sad we didn't rank up, but it's also motivating to see that. It's like, okay, they can do that. I can do this too. And I just have to put my mind to it, write it all down on paper and follow up on what I need to do. So that's all I've got.
I want to say too, one of the big things for me at Leaders was hearing all of the health stories and the emotions behind them. Being in a room with over 2,000 people that have the same struggles that we do, the same white lines, the same customers who have quit, and they've all overcome that. So just seeing the success that they've had and all the women and babies and lives that it's changed and all the emotions behind it was a huge thing too.
Exactly. Yes, I remember that too. One of the diamonds said, on days that you feel like you just can't do it anymore, you want to quit, you're kind of stuck, call up an ambassador or message one of them on Facebook and ask them what their testimony is. And anyone out there has a testimony of how the products has helped them in some form or fashion, or somebody they're really close to, and that's enough to kind of get you passionate again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's good. I guess I'll do my takeaways. I had a ton of fun at the Leaders Retreat. It was so much fun because you guys were there last year. I took my hubby Pooh, and Laura and I were both there. But it's just more fun to have more of your team there. So I just had a blast, and I felt very blessed, to have a team there this year. So that was just awesome.
Plus, we're all so much fun.
Yes, yeah, and not only that, but Jana and I got a great room at the Great Wolf Lodge, so that
hence the wolf ears.
hence the wolf.
I'm staying in the spirit of things.
Yes, yeah.
Awesome.
But Irene and I were talking last night. She was like, I'm bummed about all these people ranking up. Oh, by the way, congratulations, Peggy, on going gold. That was pretty awesome.
Very awesome.
I know you're going to watch this later, so we are very excited for you. That was a big accomplishment. And congratulations, Kimberly, again on going silver. That was awesome. But the reason I didn't make it last month was I just did not work hard enough. This leadership retreat kind of woke me up even more than I had already been waking up and realizing that I just needed to work harder, because I just get tired, after a little while of doing your DMOs and reaching out and just not getting responses. So, I can do those for so long, and then I just get discouraged because, people will look at your message and then, not say anything, or they'll just say, no, thank you. But then you have to remember that you also have those that say yes. So that's the really exciting part. But my favorite parts of the leadership training was actually the tea. That was my very favorite part. And then the Beyond Leadership training was awesome too, just listening to all those diamonds and their advice to us. At the tea, I got two great takeaways. I asked Shannon, because Shannon came back from convention, and I'm not sure what year it was that she came back from convention, but she decided, I'm not going back to convention until I am a jewel. So she kind of drew her line in the sand, and I asked her, how she had done that, and she said that she decided to, swallow her pride and just asked for help because she was having such a hard time ranking up and stuff like that. So she said to align yourself with someone that has strengths that you do not have. So like Amy Kosmowski is great at marketing. So she aligned herself with Amy Kosmowski so she could get better at marketing. So for me, my big thing is I, like to help people. I like to help people succeed and everything. So I need to align myself with someone that's like a real go-getter to just kind of like, okay, what are you doing? How are you doing this? And also one other thing that Shannon said was, and Jana reminded me of this, was she said she doesn't even reach out to her team at all until she's had her power hour in the morning. She does her DMOs and reaches out to those people because she doesn't want to even talk to anybody on her team until she's already done what she needs to do. And I thought that was just great leadership, you can't go and talk to anybody else and ask them, hey, have you done this? Have you done this? If you haven't done it yourself. So that was really good. And also at the luncheon, there was a girl named Sharara. I'm saying that wrong. I'm so sorry. Sharaya, right? Sharaya. Okay, thank you.
Sharaya.
Thank you for correcting me because she is going to be our guest speaker next week. And I am so excited about her. I mean, she's just, she is a great example. Les Brown always talks about, are you hungry? Are you hungry enough? And this girl was just hungry. I'm not going to say too much because I want her to share her story, but she wanted to stay home. She asked her husband if she could stay at home for 6 months and try to do Plexus. So she went Fast Start Gold. And this past month, she signed up 11 people. And most of the people that she has signed up aren't even people that she knows. So, I mean, she's just going down the list of friends and seeing, okay, we have 4 friends in common. Click, bing, bing. And then she's just messaging on that and, starting a relationship with them. And she says she follows up like 5 to 7 times. And most of them she's never talked to before. So I started friending a bunch of new people today. So because I need to just keep on adding to my contact list and reaching out to new people. But that was just really inspirational to me. And there was one other thing, just real briefly, the Hawaiian girls really inspired me. Just that they locked arms together and they would go after huge goals. Like she said that, she had a goal of hitting 100 new members on her team by the end of the month. And she just went for it. And she said, I am not going to stop until I have 100 new team members on my team this month. And I just thought that was huge because I think a lot of times we just don't set big enough goals for ourselves. And and that's pretty much my big takeaways from leadership. But I wanted to ask you guys each. Okay, so what I want to do personally this month is I want to match what Sharaya
You're frozen.
is. You can't see me? Can y'all see me? Okay.
Oh yeah, you just froze for a minute.
I want to ask you guys, what is your personal goal for signups this month? My personal goal for this month of November is 11 personal signups. What's yours?
I'll go with 10.
Yes. Woo! Wait. Okay, I can do it right.
Yeah.
Okay, Lacey, what's your personal goal?
I'm gonna go with 8 since I had that a couple months ago.
Sweet. That's not okay. Erin,
I was going to just shoot for the November incentive. I was hoping for 3 because my track record's not been good lately.
that's
So,
okay.
I'm
That's
shooting for 3.
good. That's still great. That is still fantastic. Jana?
That would be great for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Jana?
Okay, same with me. I want to earn that
The plan.
that what's it called? The
The
pocket
plan.
planner thingy.
Yes.
calendar, the Plexus one, I want to earn that. So I definitely want to get at least 3 either customers or ambassadors, but I'm going to shoot for 5. And then also the Hawaiian thing that Cecily was talking about, for those of you who might be watching the recording, that was Brooke Hemingway and Amy Paul. And I posted their talk, what they told us, on Dream Team. So if you haven't watched it yet, it's only like 13 minutes long, and you'll gain a bunch of tips, and you'll totally be inspired. So be sure and watch that.
That's awesome. That's great. Natalie, what about you?
I want at least 3.
Awesome.
I want that thing too, but I want to shoot for 5. I've been in quite a bit of a slump, as y'all know, but I definitely want to get up there again. So I want at least 3 new ambassadors. But
Woohoo, yay.
Laura, what about you? Are you with
I'm going for, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going for the perfect number of 7.
Woo!
And at this point, I'll take 7 combination ambassadors, customers, however it adds up to 7. One or the other, a combo of each. I want that planner plus. So yeah, I'm going to go for 7 this month.
That's awesome, Laura. That's great. Well, that's all I had. So you want to go ahead and go, Laura?
Can I share a couple more things real quick I thought about as we were talking here? You know, I love it when people give us specific words to use in certain situations. And somebody shared this, and I wrote it down. When you have somebody who has told you they were interested, but then and they called it the crickets stop chirping, you never hear back from them. To say to them, something is keeping you from taking that next step. What's holding you back? And that might get them, you know, moving, at least responding to let you know if it's money or, you know, they're just still skeptical or what it is. So that, and one more thing that this really applies to me, and it's something I've got to work on. Someone said, your Facebook page never replaces face-to-face conversation. So for me, that means I have to get out and start talking to more people in person. Okay, that's it.
Can that be
Good, yeah.
like on a Zoom call
Yeah,
too?
yeah, it could
Okay.
be. Yeah.
Okay. Good
Okay.
deal. Okay, Laura.
Wow, y'all. Y'all have said a whole lot of what I was going to say. I've been taking notes like crazy because every time y'all say things, it makes me think of other things to add on to it, or just, yeah, that's a great point. So first of all, my notes are super random here, so I'm going to try to cover all this. Leaders Retreat is amazing. Everybody who hasn't gone yet needs to work their little tails off to get there next year, because you will learn so much, and you will actually be in the presence of these people that you think are just untouchable, and you can touch them. Ask Cecily and her friends over there that danced with Michelle Thomas and her husband, who do Love and Pink Drink Live. Okay, so like, yeah, we get on these calls and we watch these people, and then we're in the dance room with them, and we're boogieing down with them, and we're in the elevator. My husband and I were in the elevator with some man ambassador. I didn't even know who he was. And my husband's like, hey, I've watched videos. He's been on videos. He's like whispering to me, that's so-and-so. I watch his videos. I'm like, what are you talking about? I look at his name tag. I didn't recognize him, but sure enough, we got home and Tracy looked him up, and he's like, that's the guy that we're on the elevator with. He's hilarious. He does all these cool videos. I can't even think of his name right now.
Who was it? Was
So
it
like,
Chris
these
McCall?
are real.
Was it Chris?
Huh?
Was it Chris?
Was it Chris
No, it wasn't
McCall?
Chris. No, I know Chris.
Okay.
It wasn't Chris. It was somebody else. And so, like, you're meeting, and, like, you know, I've been wanting to meet Kathleen Hepler since February, a diamond from New York under Jana. And she was there at the tea. And then at the beginning of the Halloween party, we were standing beside each other eating at the little tables and talking about just everything in the world, just me and her, and getting our pictures made and stuff like that. And Tracy got his picture made with Eric Paul, who's Amy's husband, right there in the hallway that night at the party. And he watches a lot of his videos. Amy Paul is going to be our speaker one of our speakers at Super Saturday, y'all. We need to get there. We need to get our team there. It's January 7th. I'm plugging this right now. It's January 7th. It's a Saturday. And I believe we can start registering this Friday. The 4th is the first day to register, if I remember that correctly. So we need to get on there and register for Dallas. Go see if you are in this area. If you're listening to this call in other parts of this nation, that's awesome. You'll find one close to you as well. But here in Dallas, we get Amy Paul and Sarah Marble. So Leaders Retreat is an awesome event. You have to earn your way there. Super Saturday, everybody can go. It's not that you have to earn it. It's only like $20, and everybody needs to get there. Leaders are born at events. We need to get to events. They're super cool. And so, yeah, y'all have already said it. They roll out the red carpet for you at Leaders Retreat. I didn't get there till Friday night, about midnight, because of other things I was doing. But, you know, the red carpet was out. I could tell it had been out, and it was continuing to be out the rest of that trip. And so I didn't get to go to the Beyond session that y'all are talking about. But the first thing I got to do was Saturday morning, get up and go hear Carrie Wilkerson speak. And I thought that was really good. She's a motivational speaker, not even really in the Plexus world, but in business and just helping people get motivated about what they're doing. And I think Irene alluded to some of these words. She just kind of had a little talk about your DNA, that we are predetermined and we're born with, and we can't deny our DNA. And I love the analogy she gave with Amy Kay's daughter who has Down syndrome and whose DNA is a little bit different than most people's, and how she was born that way and it was predetermined, and that's not holding her back. That little girl is a firecracker, and she's doing awesome things the way God made her. And so she connected the DNA letters for different words for our businesses. So if you're taking notes, the letter D is for your desire and your drive. And Irene mentioned we need to have desperation. And only when we have the desperation and we have a destination where we're headed, will we get there. I looked back at my notes on her talk, and she said, leaders got to have it. Leaders have to have destination. If we don't have destination, then we're not leading. If we don't have where we're headed to, we can't be good leaders. So we got to set those goals. We got to set big goals, like y'all said, you know, set outrageous goals. And even if you only get halfway there, look how much further you are than if you set tiny goals. So the D is all those words: desire, drive, desperation, and destination. And the letter N in DNA could stand for your narrative. What story are you telling? What are you saying with the way you conduct yourself in your business? Are you blaming others? Are you making excuses? She kept saying, stop it, stop it, stop it. Stop making excuses. Own it yourself. You know, my business isn't growing because I am not doing blah, 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 blah. Not because my team isn't, but because of me. You know, what can I do? What do I need to go do? And I thought that was really powerful. Your narrative, you know, what story are you telling? Don't be afraid to share your own story. Don't just always copy and paste everything else, but, you know, what's happening in your life? You know, what effect are these products having on you? And so tell your story on Facebook. Tell your story in person. Tonight, I was at a school play, and one of my administrators said, man, you know, you've been on the go a lot. Aren't you glad to be back in your own bed? I don't know how you hold up. How you feel? Have you recovered? I'm like, yeah, I feel great. I'm back at it. And they're like, man, I said, well, that's because my Plexus products help me be back at it. You know, I'm plugging my products. She knows I do Plexus. I said, I wouldn't be back at it and feeling so good if it wasn't for my Plexus. And I truly believe that. So I'm sharing my story when I can. My ears are open, like someone mentioned about listening. I think it was Aaron. Listen, listen, listen. Always be ready to give a testimony because you're listening to what other people are saying, and you want to be helpful. And it doesn't sound salesy because it's genuine. Okay, back to DNA. Sorry, I'm rambling. The A is for action, and I know Irene mentioned that. What is our action? Things that move the needle in your business, she said. What's moving that dial? What's moving that needle closer to your goal? What are you doing? Your contacts, your follow-ups, your sharing samples, the practical IPAs, income-producing activities, has to have action with it. We have to do something. We can't just wish and hope and look and cruise Facebook and like and comment. We gotta do things too. And so I thought the DNA talk was really good. And then of course, you know, as you all mentioned, the tea that we went to was just amazing. All the jewels on our team that we, you know, haven't met, most of them are really hung around too much. We're all in the room together, and they're just real people. And I love the newest one there that just ranked up to Emerald. I can't remember her name, but it took her 3 years to get to Emerald. even though she started really, really fast, she was Ruby within 5 or 6 months, crazy fast. But then it took her a whole year to get from Ruby to senior Ruby. And I'm sitting at Ruby right now, a few months into it. I'm like, wow, a whole year. That's a lot of patience. That's a lot of consistency. That's a lot of, I'm not going to give up. And then she hit senior Ruby, but then it took her a whole nother year to go to the next rank of Emerald. So 2 whole years, 2 years between Ruby and Emerald. And she got her trip. It happened on July 31st for her, the very last day. So she was in Hawaii in September. And like Shannon was saying, not everybody's on the same pace. You know, you can't quit. Your quit level's got to be 0. You've got to be consistent and just keep at it and keep at it. And don't compare yourself. So y'all said all that already. But I really liked her testimony. It was just real sweet and genuine. And then the lady over at the table that's fighting cancer, she's having a battle for her life with her cancer. And she was at Leaders Retreat, y'all. She earned the trip. She's signing people up. She's sharing the product. And we have no excuses when you think about that. And, you know, they did the 5K walk. I wasn't part of that. I was trying to recover from my previous days of walking 6 miles a day in DC. But some of y'all did that event. I'm so proud of you that you got up and you went and walked, and you did that for her and for others that you know that are fighting that disease. And so all of it, the part I was there that I saw was just totally amazing. I love our November incentive. We need to get that planner. It's really, really cool. We need to get it. We need to earn it. We need to use it. You know, they're giving us incentives to help us grow our business. So we need to be all over that stuff. And then just, I think that's it. My takeaways were, you know, the 2 events I was at, I learned a lot, and I had a great time with y'all. It was short and sweet for me, but I'm excited about this month. I'm thrilled about what happened yesterday with all the rank ups. And even if it wasn't you that did it, I was just as excited just being in the middle of all of it, talking to people, texting people, trying to help people do this and that at the 11th hour, trying to figure out what the heck was happening with the back office because it froze. I mean, everybody's ranking up and it can handle so much. And then it all got straightened out right before midnight. And all of a sudden people saw their points, and it was just fun. My adrenaline was pumping, so excited. And for my team members, up lines, down lines, side lines, whoever it was. And so it's just fun to be in this business because of the relationships. I love what y'all were talking about that. Absolutely. Let's connect our new people to other people and get those relationships strong, because you're not going to leave no matter how tough it gets. If you're in that relationship and that relationship's keeping you bound together, then no matter what happens, it's not going to break those ties. So love that talk. Love that concept that Jana brought up at the tea. So I'm going to be done because I'm rambling, but great call tonight, y'all. Love it, love it, love it.
Yep, and don't miss next week with Sharia. It's going to be awesome. So I really want us to get lots of people on the call for next week, to really keep on reaching out to people and private messaging them, because I don't want to have a guest come on and then there just not be very many people that get on here. So I'm hoping for at least 20 people to come. And that's it.
Plus, Sharia has some awesome tips, things that I've never thought of before. And they're working for her. She's been with Plexus 3 months and assigned at 31 people. So, yeah, she's like really on fire, and we can totally do what she's telling us to do. Anyone can do it.
Yep.
And so, and we are going to have our weekly calls right here, Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. So, yeah, as somebody mentioned earlier, Cecily's kind of got us lined up some different speakers. So,
yes.
Anyway.
I'm hoping the next one's going to do it. She's kind of shy, so I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, it's going to be all good. Just keep going. Contact us if you need to. Thank you so much for being on the call.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a nice evening.
Thank y'all. Bye.
Night, y'all.